I'm Anna Matamala, a researcher in her late 40s with a round face and glasses. And yes, I'm wearing a very nice necklace. I'm wearing my usual black shirt. You know, we all work from home, so I always wear the same one, but I put a very nice necklace to give this presentation to all of you. It's a pleasure to be here after lunch. I hope you don't fall asleep. I'll try to summarize very briefly what the EASIT project is. So I will be sharing a presentation. So EASIT is the Access for Social Inclusion Training. Is an Erasmus Plus project, so very similar to what Pablo was explaining. It's a strategic partnership in higher education. It started in September 2018, will last for 3 years until next August. So I'll try to explain how it all started. Basically, we saw that easy to understand language, meaning different types of easy to understand language. So meaning plain language, meaning easy to read language. You can find examples on written text. There is a lot of focus, I would say, on this type of simplified languages on written text. So you see, for instance, on screen, I chose an example from the Plain Language website in which a sentence such as the application must be completed by the applicant and received by the financial office by June the 1st can be made easier by just saying we must receive your application by June the 1st. Or there is another example on screen in which I will not be reading that, but basically you see a whole paragraph on the left. Without reading it, you already fear what's going to say because it's so complex. On the right, it's structured in different bullet points. Easy to read is another type of easy to understand language. I've chosen an example from an interview from the Inclusion Europe website, where we can see different images that illustrate the text, which has a very specific layout. There is white spacing, there are explanations, so we can click on certain words to find a definition of what those words mean. So only the visuals already make this text easier to understand, but also the choice of language. So the question is, okay, there is this easy to understand language on written text mainly. What about easy to understand subtitles? What about easy to understand audio description? What about easy to understand audiovisual news? Based on these questions, we created consortium. We are universities, University of Hildesheim, SDI München, Universidad de Vigo, University of Trieste, Autónoma in Barcelona, 2 user associations, Dyslexieverbundet, the National Association of Dyslexia in Sweden, and RISA, an association in Slovenia, and also the television in Slovenia, Radio Televizija Slovenia. And what have we been doing? Well, so far, they are like different blocks. It's a bit what Pablo was saying in the previous talk. So the first block, which was led by Elisa Perego in Italy, was to define how the training and practice of easy to understand language is currently performed in Europe. So we mapped the situation. We prepared a survey, we got 128 replies. And if you go to our website, I can share the link later on if someone needs it, you will find the report about the results of our survey. As you can imagine, in 15 minutes, I cannot get into details. The second block, which was led by Rocío Bernabé-Caro, because I think I saw Rocío on the list of participants, so she can contribute and provide more input on this. Basically, we discuss how this concept of easy to understand could be transferred into the audiovisual world. So there were 4 focus groups, 23 interviews, and we came up with some suggestions. I put an example on screen that was created by the University of Hildesheim on an event they organized, a multiplier event, in which they created easy to understand subtitles using the easy to read format in a way. I can get into more details later if you want. The third building block was to define what each of the experts that we wanted to define, the expert in easy to understand subtitles, the expert in easy to understand audio description, or the expert in easy to understand audiovisual journalism. So what these experts should know, this is what we call the skills card. And this was led by Vigo. As you see, also Pablo was here a few minutes ago. And this skills card was organized in different units, one general unit on media accessibility, one on easy to understand language, then specific units on the specializations, and the last one about the skills related to the profession, sorry. And again, all this information is on the project website. The fourth block was the curriculum definition. So we, and this was led by Hildesheim, we made a proposal for a MOOC and we made a proposal for a university course. We did not implement those. We designed these two very different but related proposals. And if anyone wishes to implement those, they are freely available on the website. And what we are now doing right now, and this is led by UAB, is to create the educational content. So we are creating video lectures, short videos, based on a PowerPoint in which we explain the main topics, of course, based on what we've identified before in the skills card and in the curriculum. We are creating or using other videos. So for instance, samples, interviews, videos from other projects that they allow us to use. So we create other types of videos. We make a list of additional materials that our students can use, a reading list of the main references, and we also are preparing tasks, so suggestions for tasks that students could do. All these will be available open access on a website, and the idea is that any teacher can go and pick whatever he or she wants to create his or her own course, but maybe we'll also create like a self-learning path in which you can watch different videos and learn about this topic. All this will be ready in August next year. And well, on screen, some examples of very nice introductory videos in which we have a pencil explaining what you will find in each unit. Below, an example of another video, an additional video. In this case, User Association gave us permission to use a speech by a person who took part in a United Nations event, a user. And then on the right, an example of what we call video lectures, in which there is a small image of myself on top giving the lecture, and then the slides and the subtitles. The last part of the project, which we are doing in parallel, is discussing certification, but I think this was mentioned before, so I'm not going to get into much detail on this. If you are interested in the project, our website is paginas.uab.cat/EASIT. We are on Facebook and Twitter, EASIT Project, so please follow us if you are not following us yet. And then in January, on the 27th of January, we have a multiplier event, which will be free. It will be online, and there we'll be showing the materials we've produced so far. So it will be really not a presentation about the project, what I'm doing now, but really showing the materials produced by the different partners until January.